Coming up on KCRG TV9 News at 6, Iowa City police find a woman and her 4 children dead in this house. And a short time later, they're called to this fiery crash. Now investigators are working to piece it together.
Could these two scenes be connected or related in any way? Iowa City police might think there might be a connection. We'll have live team coverage.
You are watching KCRG TV9. Now, from your 24-hour news source, this is KCRG TV9 News at 6.
Investigators say the 5 victims are 5 of the people who lived in the Sueppel home. A close friend says they are Cheryl Sueppel and her 4 children, Ethan, Mira, Eleanor, and Seth, seen here in this past year's family Christmas photo. Police say the children's ages were 3, 5, 7, and 10. An Iowa City mother and those 4 children are dead. Police are trying to determine who killed the family members at their home on the east side of Iowa City and, of course, why they were killed. Steve Sueppel, the children's father and husband of the murdered woman, is missing, but police think he might be dead too. KCRG TV9's Mark Geary is live with the latest developments. Mark?
Beth, everyone we've talked to today kept asking us the same question. Why? Why would someone kill a mother and her 4 children? Investigators have been on the scene all day today here at the Sueppel home, trying to answer that question and get any kind of answers that they can. Meantime, a few miles away from here, police are working on another death investigation, and authorities say these 2 scenes may be related. On the outside, the Sueppel's home looks quiet and peaceful, but police say what they found inside was horrifying.
A lot of times officers second-guess themselves that if I'd have done this differently, I might have had a better resolution. There wasn't anything that could have been done better.
So I didn't know what to think, what was going on, and it's frustrating. The fact, like I said, I have 5 children of my own.
A few miles away, Stephen Sueppel's van slammed into a highway barrier and burst into flames. The flames were so hot and burned the vehicle so badly, investigators still haven't been able to identify the body. But police believe Sueppel was behind the wheel.
I think that is probably a likelihood, but at this point we're still waiting on that positive ID.
Neighbors said the family was well liked and they're struggling to understand exactly what happened.
It's something that you don't necessarily expect out of these neighborhoods, but I guess it kind of proves to you that stuff can happen anywhere.
Now this quiet home has become a crime scene and the site of a tragedy that will forever haunt this neighborhood. Police continue to collect evidence inside the Sueppel's home, and they're also trying to piece together all the information and details they have collected so far. And one thing they haven't released yet is exactly how the family members died inside the home. They may release that kind of information tomorrow or later on this evening as well. Obviously, it's been a very emotional and sad day here in this Iowa City neighborhood. Live in Iowa City, Mark Geary, KCRG TV9 News.
This morning's events unfolded quickly. At 6:31 a.m., officers took a 911 call from a cell phone telling police they had to get to 629 Barrington. The caller then hung up. At 6:37, the Iowa State Patrol learns of a fiery crash in the median of Interstate 80 near the Herbert Hoover Highway exit. Then at 6:45, Iowa City police entered the Sueppel house to discover Cheryl and her 4 children dead inside. Those who live near or knew the Sueppel family are struggling with the news of the murders tonight. Many say there weren't any apparent warning signs. TV9's Dave Franzman continues our story tonight with reaction from friends and others. Dave?
Well, Beth, one woman who says she's known Cheryl Sueppel for years recently had lunch with the victim just a couple of weeks ago. She said she asked then about the embezzlement charges against her husband from that bank case. The reply she got from Sueppel was that she was taking it one day at a time, and the friend told me there was no sign of a family about to break. The Sueppel family welcomed 4 children adopted from South Korea to this home over the years. One friend says Cheryl Sueppel gave up a full-time teaching job to stay at home after the second adoption, and it showed in her love of kids.
She was she was very creative and very thoughtful. She loved to read. We were members of the same book club. In fact, she organized it, and she was very involved at the Iowa Children's Museum.
Benson says many of the family friends were concerned for everybody's well-being after the bank embezzlement charges came to light. But there were no signs the stress had become unbearable.
I'm still numb, and I cried for a long time at first, and now I'm just in kind of shock and denial that it could possibly have happened.
All 4 of the children attended Longfellow School, and administrators put plans in action to address concerns of students and parents. Like her friend, neighbors could only wonder if they missed a sign of something important.
You hear that all the time of people embezzling, and they receive their sentences or they pay it back one way or another. And no, never imagined that they'd go this far.
Now, Iowa City School Superintendent says that Cheryl Sueppel apparently retired from the district just about the time he arrived 8 or 9 years ago, so he really had never met her at the time. But Lane Pluggy also told me that the district will be in mourning as they await more information from police and other investigators. Live in Iowa City, Dave Fransman, KCRG TV9 News.
Members of the Sueppel and Kesterson families released a statement together today. They say they were with Steve, Cheryl, and the children during the Easter weekend, and they saw nothing unusual. They also said in part that they've tried to remain alert for signs of particular stress, especially during the past few difficult months for the family. Steve Sueppel has been in the news recently for his alleged involvement in a bank embezzlement case. Prosecutors say that Sueppel embezzled more than $550,000 during the 7-year period that he worked at Hills Bank and Trust. He pleaded not guilty to embezzlement and money laundering charges just last month and was out on bond awaiting trial in April. Hills Bank and Trust also released a statement today saying our hearts and our prayers are with the family as they grieve the loss of their family members.